Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Old Pods podcast. I'm Alan, this is Paul.
Oh.
So this week, breaking the routine where we've been running through some of the favourites from each particular genre to action a challenge that we received on TikTok from Murray on Movies. Murray's a good guy. He talks about and reviews everything sci-fi horror and sci-fi horror. Posts daily. The posts are great. The content's fantastic. I'll put a link to his socials below in the description. Check it out. He's a good guy. He has issued us a challenge to list out top 5 remakes that have improved upon or are significantly better than the original. So that's where we're at. That's what we're going to run through this week. We've each got a few that we've kind of looked into and pulled out. So we'll just go one for one, back and forward. There's about 6 or 7 in total, and then we'll choose the top 5. And those will be the ones that we come back to Murray with. Do you want to go first, Paul? Do you want to jump in with your first one?
I'll go in with an easy one. I mean, I'll avoid the very easy ones because we spoke about this earlier about like get rid of the Blob and the Thing and the Fly because everybody's talked about them to death.
Yes, yeah.
The one that's, I don't know, it seems to be slightly forgotten recently is the Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder.
Oh, right, yeah, good show.
I think James Gunn had his finger in that one as well.
Yeah.
But then he's had his finger in a lot of things, hasn't he? Yeah. I mean, the original's class. And it inspired all sorts, like video games and stuff, Dead Rising and things like that. The trapped in a mall thing. Yeah, I distinctly remember it coming out of nowhere. Because it was not pre-internet, but the internet wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now. And one night, me and a friend of mine were watching TV late at night, and they showed like the first 10 minutes of like the attack when the little girl attacks them in the bedroom on TV, and we were just absolutely blown away. And it turned out to be an absolute banger. Great cast, some good set pieces. Just kind of like skirts along the same story as the original, but has a few diversions, like with the end where they escape in like the mega truck and stuff like that. Big action set piece. And there's the bit with the guy over the road in the gun shop who they play chess with, and he doesn't make it out.
I forgot about that guy.
Great. And that freaking girl who squawks on about a dog the whole time. Yeah, great movie. I think it was one of Snyder's early ones, maybe sort of one of his or earlier ones before he was as established as the bigger name that he is now. Now
I think like, so. Yeah. I mean, what year was it now? It must be. What were you talking?
2001 or something.
I was going to say 2005, but you might be right. It might be a bit older.
I mean, I was still in uni when that was being shot. 2004. Well, yeah, later than I thought.
Yeah. No, that's a good shout. That's a great shout, actually.
Yeah, it's a banger film.
It is a one that I always forget about myself, and I kind of go back and I'll remember it and I'll dive in. Oh yeah, if I haven't watched that in a while, I'll give it another go.
Yeah, it's rock solid, and it just seems to be, I don't know, it just seems to kind of get like forgotten about a little bit. Everybody likes it. It's one of the films that everybody likes it. Like you mentioned, they go, oh, yeah, it's fucking sick, that bit with this and that, like people do like it. It just sort of, it kind of forgotten a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly one that if I was running through Snyder films, it's certainly one that I would put near the top of the list.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like before he went all Snydery, He still had a bit of, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a Zack Snyder film. Maybe that's because he moved away from like horror-y type, like.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good shout. Hang on, I need to remember to note these down so we can tier them eventually, or at the end of this one in this case.
We love a tier list, don't you, Meds?
I love a tier list. My first one is a remake that, well, we certainly know it as a remake. A few of the younger listeners, if there is any, might not know it's a remake. But Ocean's 11.
I've heard that's a remake, but I don't know what of.
Ocean's 11
I've never heard of the original.
Not a direct remake, but it was kind of the Rat Pack, so it had like Frank Sinatra in.
Right.
Back in the day, and I tried to watch the original at one point, and it's very of its time. Like, it's very dated now. So for the recent Ocean 11, obviously George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, the stacked cast that's got in.
God, yeah, some money in that.
God, yeah. It is a world apart. And it's more than significantly improved on it. It is a whole fresh take, completely better than the original, in my opinion. And there might be some people out there that go, nah, you're mad, like the original's great. But I bet most people haven't even heard of the original movie or seen the original movie or knew it was even a remake to start with. But it's very clever. It's very well shot. The humor in it's great. The banter's great. I've said before, I've said in earlier episodes that I love seeing Brad Pitt and George Clooney together. I think they've got great banter, great rapport between each other when they're on screen. And obviously, it spawned a couple of sequels because of its popularity, because of how many people liked it. So that's the first one that I've got, Ocean's 11.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not my cup of tea at all. I don't like these big not set piece films, but like these big where the cast is bigger than the film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think you tend to find that with like Scorsese films, and like it's getting to be that way with Chris Nolan films a little bit. Uh,
yeah. A little bit.
but it
It's
was
a
a,
who's who of Hollywood at the time.
yeah, yeah, I. But it was good. It was enjoyable. It was just like a heist. One of the films with like a little bit of everything. Like some tense bits and some funny bits. Yeah, I enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not saying the original. Like I knew.
No,
I remember.
1960. Just looking.
I remember reading that it was a remake, but I never looked into it because it's not on my radar at all. Um, just on a side note, there you saying about Clooney and Pitt. Have you seen the film called Wolves? They did
Yeah,
recently.
it's great. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good film. That, yeah. Um,
yeah, fantastic.
that's another one that sort of flew under the radar a little bit.
Yeah,
Nobody
it
really
just
seemed to
appeared
be
from
aware
nowhere.
of. Yeah,
I
but
mean, the
yeah, it was
cast's
good.
great. I'm looking at the cast now. It's George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, Andy Garcia, Bernie Mac, Casey Affleck, Elliot Gould, Carl Reiner, and
Oh,
it
it's
just goes
crackers.
on and
Yeah,
on and on. Like it's
aye,
mad, mad cast,
yeah.
and
Um,
older than I thought as well. Actually, 2001.
I'd have put it about there. I've never seen any of the sequels. Like, not because he did like what 2, 3 or something.
Uh, the
Ocean's
two
12.
direct
I know they
sequels
did
and then
Oceans.
another spin off.
Did a lady one, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that was I don't remember what it was called. Ocean's 8 had Sandra Bullock in and Kate Blanchett. Well, although Kate Blanchett, Sandra Bullock, and Hathaway all put in great turns in that movie.
Never seen it.
No,
Um,
I don't think it's as strong as the original one. Oh, I say the original one as Ocean's 11, the 2001, but it's good. It's good. It's decent. Yeah, but
cool. I'll not
Ocean's
watch it.
11.
Um, right, straight on to my next one, in no way related at all. And I don't know if this is technically a remake, but Little Shop of Horrors,
Yeah.
because there was the film, there was the original film. I think it's a Roger Corman film, the original one. It's got Jack Nicholson in as the Bill Murray, I think. Um, and then I think they made a musical of it, and then the film is the film of the musical rather than a remake of the original. But they all
Right,
stem from
okay.
the original, so bollocks, I'm going to take it. Um, yeah, I absolutely love it. I've seen the Roger Corman one. I used to have it on DVD, and it's a bit ropey, like but I mean it's a Roger Corman film. Yeah, the plants. It doesn't have like a personality sort of thing. It kind of like whispers to them a bit, and then it gets like people's faces in it when it
Yeah.
eats them, which is a little bit spooky. But I mean, Little Shop of Horrors, the Rick Moranis one, it's absolutely amazing. The songs are brilliant. Uh, Everybody in its class. Steve Martin puts a massive turn in as the crazy dentist.
It's Chris Steve Martin's brilliant in it. That's the
Um,
biggest thing that I can remember about it originally, obviously, other than the feed me.
Feed Me
Feed.
Seymour, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean the plant effect, the huge plant puppet, just fucking unbelievable. Um, yeah, and everybody's great in it. I absolutely love it. It's one of them films where it can be on at any time and I can watch it from any
Yeah,
point.
that's a great pull.
All the
And
songs, love it.
I think I've got a vague memory of hearing that it was a remake, but like I never would have thought of it for this list in particular at all.
Yeah, I think it was like a Broadway musical, um, like a stage show that got made.
Yeah, it's got a
With
stage
all the
show.
stuff because
Yeah.
the original doesn't have songs or anything like that. The original's just like a quirky kind of horror ish sci-fi ish movie, and then they did the Broadway show of it, and then the film is the movie version of the Broadway show. They
All right.
changed the
Okay.
ending for the film. Um,
Yeah.
the original end the original ending in Broadway, the plants kill everything. Do you like
Oh,
gigantic?
Christ!
Do you like as big as skyscrapers and the yeah? I think the ending's on YouTube. The original ending. They
All
go
right,
like stomping through the city and they eat everything. Take over the earth.
bloody
Um,
hell!
but yeah, that's my number two.
That's
Love
a
it.
great pull. That's a great pull. My number two is I've got a big hitter, and it might piss a few people off because I know how much people love it. But I would say that the June remakes are better than the original
Ah,
part one or
yeah.
two. It might not go
Yes.
down very well with some people. It might not. Might piss them off
It, it probably
because
won't
it's
because people do hold the Lynch one to the heart a lot,
yeah,
and I do as well a bit. Because as a Dune fan, it was like it was all we had for so long. We had nothing else. And it is fucking mad. And Lynch famously doesn't like it. He hates it. I think there was a lot of studio interference. Because I mean Lynch is obviously as mad as a box of frogs himself. So he probably had a vision and the studio had another vision entirely. And he took some very big creative liberties. I think he kind of had to really for the sake of running time with like the voice weapon, the sound weapons and stuff.
yeah,
But the original is still great. The
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, it's not to say that the original's bad, not by any means, but I think the remakes have done such a good job that I would consider them better than the original.
yeah. I think the
And it might be a little bit recency biased, but
no,
because of
I
how
think the
dated the original is. But I, I can't see anything. June Part One and June Part Two. I see. I mean, I can't even think of anything that I would say is wrong with either of them.
mm, I mean, I wasn't keen on the ending bit with Charnie. I didn't like that. How they seemed to be pulling her in a slightly different direction, where she was all pissed off and went into the desert.
Yeah, yeah,
And she was all upset that he was marrying the princess, Irulan. But in the books, she knew why he was doing that, and it was very much like, I'm doing this to seize the throne and nothing else. Like
yeah.
she means nothing to him. But she got all upset and she ran off into the desert in the films, and it was just I don't know. It seemed like a bit of a daft sort of pointless addition, but who knows? But yeah, I think
Find
the
out in Part
remakes do.
Three.
I think they tell a better story. They tell the story of Dune better, and they explain the aspects of it better while maintaining a bit more accuracy to the books.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I
So
definitely
yeah,
agree with that.
they are they definitely better, more faithful to the books and more watchable as well. I think like you carried along with it, whereas with the Lynch Dune, you're like if you didn't know anything about the books
Yeah, I think
with
you'd
the
struggle
Lynch
a bit.
Dune, you'd be sat there and what the fucking hell is this? You know,
Yeah,
like the giant fish man at the beginning and stuff like that. Like they say there's a guild navigator, but what the fuck's it? You know,
yeah.
like
You
it's
definitely struggle.
you don't know a lot of what it is, and the Sardaukar, you don't know what they are. They're just guys in freaking hazmat suits, I think. Yeah, a little bit cut, but yeah, not yeah. I think you're right there. Much as it pains me to say it,
Much as it
because I
pains
do
me,
love
I
the
think
Lynch
it's
one,
gonna.
because it's
I
just
still
an
think it
absolute
might piss people off a little bit,
fever
but
dream. There,
I just think it is. And we spoke about last week. Actually, we spoke about how much of a great turn Timothy Chalamet put in. I
yeah,
mean,
he's
he's
great. Yeah,
fucking kind of praise his performance in those two movies enough. Like he did an absolutely fantastic job of it.
yeah. I mean, he's relatively new as well. Like he's not some like he's not DiCaprio sort of thing. He's young and it's a big role. Paul Atreides is like a proper big role,
Oh yeah.
and it's yeah. He did great in it. I certainly couldn't think of anybody else. It would be as good.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go your third?
My third is Body Snatchers. Uh, the one in the I think it's like 70 summit. For a quick look, I'm sure it's 79. Um, yeah, remake of one from the 50s. I think the original one was made. The original is good. The original came out in the time of like some like old sci-fi, like things like The Blob and The Fly. You know, like
Hmm.
some sort of sci-fi classics. But it was it always seemed a little bit ahead of its time. The original Body Snatchers, it was very I don't know, a bit more. It just seemed a bit more grounded than like some sci-fi films still had a bit of like hokey kind of bit of nonsense to them. They seemed a bit daft. Whereas Body Snatchers always seemed a little bit more grounded. But then I suppose it's supposed to because it's a film about paranoia, like being replaced and things and nobody
Yeah,
else knows, and they silently replace you with perfect copies. That was like paranoia and distrust and things like that. So the original was good, but that one with the one from the 70s with Donald Sutherland in it's just absolutely amazing. It's so tense. The effects are a bit better with the pod people. They're a bit more gross and a bit, like when they find them, they're a bit, yeah, it's slimier, and the ending's just like iconic ending. Uh, where she spots Donald Sutherland, she sort of walks over to him, and he does that sort of body snatcher scream that they do to alert each other. Um, yeah, just it takes everything that the original sort of had, and the book I suppose had, and it just improves it a bit better, tightens it all up, and they remade it again in the 90s, I think.
in the 90s, there was a 90s one, wasn't there?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's a
93.
great show. I mean,
Um,
that's definitely a film that I need to go back and revisit because I haven't seen it in, I'm talking decades. Like, I haven't seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers since, I bet it's a good 20 years since I've seen it.
yeah, yeah. Aye. It's still it's the Donald Sutherland. I think I watched it myself like a couple of months ago. I saw it on something and I thought, oh yeah, I'll give that a go. And then I watched the 90s one after it, and the 90s one's good. It's a solid film, and again, it's got a bit of a bit of a surprising kind of shock ending. Um, and yeah, there's a couple of really good scenes. There's a bit where he's talking to I forget if it's his wife or girlfriend or something like that. Um, and she's talking to him, and she knows that he knows that she's a pod person now, and she's saying where you're going to go, where you're going to hide, sort of thing, and it's really creepy. And it's you realize that he's fucked, like they're all fucked, everyone's fucked, and
Yeah.
these things are like here, they're everywhere. So yeah, the 90s one is good, but that 70s one's it's it's perfect. It's like so tight, and it's got that dreary kind of late 70s, just before the 80s explosion kind of
Yeah.
atmosphere, like that sort of really stagnant, sort of drowning atmosphere about it.
I was just about to say, it's the way it's shot, isn't it? The cinematography in it is very, very 70s. The
Yeah,
style of it,
aye,
the
uh-huh.
the fashion, the performances even feel
Yeah,
70s. Just the
it's
way they're pulling everything across. It's still quite very theatrical, isn't it? It's
yeah, aye, it's got that sort of like yeah, the feeling of it's got the feeling of like a like a Cold War movie, like
yeah,
spies, kind of like a
yeah,
Soviet spy movie kind of thing. It's got that kind of vibe to it. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. 70s body snatchers.
great shout. My third one is a one that's, I mean, it's definitely a remake, but because the original wasn't canon, I might get a bit of backlash for it. But the remake of Casino Royale, the Bond movie,
I've never seen the original, but I know it's a remake. I
probably
remember
for the
hearing it was
best
a
because the
remake.
original was pretty dire. Obviously, it
Is
wasn't.
that
Well,
is that the one where it's like a comedy?
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of spoofiness, a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah, it's like was it David Niven? I think played Bond in it. It's
Yeah, action comedy. David Niven, Peter Sellers, Woody Allen, Orson Welles. But obviously, it came as the first of Daniel Craig's series of Bond movies. I would say that it's, if not the best, one of Daniel Craig's Bond movies. It's certainly on par with Skyfall, which I think is the biggest contender for it.
I still think Casino Royale was the best Daniel Craig one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a complete reimagining of Bond. Like I've got nothing against Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan. I mean, most of them. I was a big Bond fan when I was younger, uh, and Pierce Brosnan was great, but it still had that kind of cheesy humor in it every now and again, and it
They
was a bit
were
over the
they were
top
campy. Aye, they
a
were a
bit
bit camp.
flash, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Aye.
then it came in with Daniel Craig in Casino Royale and had a much more serious tone. It was a lot more
Aye, it was
grounded.
grounded and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was very of its time. Like the technology was, and I kind of don't know when it came out.
Yeah, there was no
Um,
like laser watches, and there was no invisible cars or anything, was there? It was just
yeah, it was
yeah. I
just
don't I don't think there was any real gadgets in it, was there?
no,
It was the
no.
the heart thing in the car when
In
he
the
got
car,
poisoned,
yeah, yeah. It had a
and the
defibrillator in the car, didn't it?
defibrillator. But I think that was about it. I don't remember there being any kind of Q gadgetry in it, fancy gadgets.
Six, it came out. God, didn't think it was that
Six.
long ago.
Ah, Jesus. Okay, now
Yeah,
20 years. Yeah, Casino Royale was great. I loved it, and even the song. Like I remember hearing the song that you know your name or something. He knows your name,
yeah.
something like that. At the time, I thought that's a load of shite. That, but it proper worked in the film. It really worked. I was like, I called that one totally wrong. Yeah, I thought, yeah, great film. Yeah, I love Casino Royale. Still the best one. Yeah.
Just brilliant. Great film. Again, a million times better than the original. A
Yeah,
million
I've never
times
seen the
better.
original. I've heard of it, but I've
Yeah,
never seen it.
you're better off not watching it, to be honest. You're
Probably
better off
not.
leaving it be and just enjoying Casino Royale. And that gets us to your last one. It is your last one, isn't it? You got one more.
I've got one more, but it's not like a full blown one. It is Nightmare at 20,000 Feet from the Twilight Zone. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Never heard of it.
No, I'm a big Twilight Zone fan. The original was one of the episodes of the Twilight Zone. You'll know when I expand upon it. It had William Shatner in, and he was on a plane, and he looks out the window, and there's a
Oh, there's a
fucking
gremlin on the
monster.
wing.
There's a gremlin on the wing.
There's a
There's
gremlin
something
on
on
the
the
wing.
wing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Shatner original. The original one was like an episode. An old one. He kills it while he shoots it and it flies off the wing, and yeah, he gets carted off. But then the closing shot, the camera pans to like the engine's been like clawed up. It's got all claw marks and it's torn up and stuff. And it's yeah, nobody. I don't think anybody sees it in the show, but you know that it's there, so that it was real. You know, like it wasn't him being crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, they made the Twilight Zone movie. Oh God, that must have been in the 80s or something, I think. Um, got what's his name? Ray Spengler in the beginning. What's his name? Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Uh, he's in the intro bit for it. Anyway, they remade it for that, and it's John Lithgow playing the main character,
Right. Okay.
and he's more like fucking boggle-eyed and like sweaty and like panicky and sort of he's like a mess, a total mess in the film because he could see this gremlin on the wing and the monster itself in the movie version because it's got 20 or 30 years on it, and it was a movie. It's like this big fucking like lizardy, spiky, monstery thing, where the
Yeah.
original was a guy in a suit in a furry suit with a funny face.
Yeah.
But yeah, it follows it very very similarly. But in the only real difference is in the end, they can't Lithgow off. I think they got him in a straitjacket or something. They thrown him in a van because he's fucking gone completely nuts. He's waving a gun around in the fucking plane and stuff. And as they carting him off, there's a guy who's like on the plane wing, and he's like, "Oh, look, there's claw marks," and like it's so he's vindicated in the final shot.
Yeah.
But it's very much the same thing. I just think it's better. God love William Shatner, he's a fucking star. But yeah, Lithgow's just like he just elevates it. He's properly bonkers in it. He's like losing his absolute mind.
There's an image
And
of
he
it here.
just
I've just done a quick search. I'm looking at an image of it here. It's a fucking harrowing shot. He's like looking through like the window of the plane, and it's just the goblin's face in the window, and it's fucking horrific.
it is much creepier. Like it's more like monstrous, like it's really sort of like it's like this fucking hideous ghoul thing. It's like a big lizard or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the original, like I mean you can see the original one as well, it's just a fella with a funny face
It's
and like a furry suit. He's a bit
very suit.
which I think is creepy in itself as well. There's like if you scroll around there's a few shots of it. There's one where
Yeah, yeah.
there's like rain running down the window and it's just
I see
staring at him.
anything on the fucking window, the wing of a plane when I'm at 20,000 feet.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fucking
it.
terrifying.
Aye. And that's the whole premise of the whole episode slash segment because nobody else can see it. Like nobody, people look outside and it's not there,
It's not
and
there.
it's like, is he mad? Is he going crazy? And everybody obviously thinks he's fucking crazy. In both of them, yeah. The movie version, the Lithgow sails it, like absolutely sails it because he's completely off his rocker in it. Um, yeah, he's like what you would be. He's a tall, sweaty mess seeing this fucking goblin. But yeah, that's my last one.
All right, okay. So we've got 7. We need to get rid of 2. Or not get rid of 2, but just keep it at 5. So we've got Dawn of the Dead, Little Shop of Horrors, the June remakes, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Casino Royale, and Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. I would say definitely keep in June and Dawn of the Dead. I think both of those are kind of top tier.
I mean, how do you want to rate them, by like quality of the newest version, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think we need to rate them. I just think we need to pick five of the better ones. Or which five do we think are better? Obviously, the other two will be honourable mentions, and that the full podcast will be out there. I'll let Murray know to check out the full podcast. But just to give him his five for an answer, I would say
So I'll,
June,
I'll type
Dawn of the
yours down.
Dead,
What was yours again? Ocean's 11, June,
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. That's it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we'll definitely go Dawn of the Dead
Yeah,
is
definitely.
in there because that's an absolute champion. The
Yeah,
Dunes, yeah,
all day long.
solid.
Keep Body
Uh,
Snatchers in there as well because I think that's a
yeah, I
great
think
shout.
yeah, I was just going to say I think we can probably keep
I'm
Body
thinking of
Snatchers
them
in there.
purely as just remakes against the original ones, and I think Body Snatchers is for that same reason as well. I'd also keep Little Shop of Horrors in there because I think
Uh, if it's a comparative thing,
comparative
certainly,
against the
because
an improvement scale against the original.
yeah, if we go and buy that as well, I think probably Casino Royale,
Yeah,
based on
yeah,
what you've
definitely.
said, because I mean, I know the original has almost no cultural impact, really. It's pretty much like a footnote in Bond history, whereas Casino Royale, the Craig version, that like that really did catapult Craig back into Daniel Craig into like superstardom.
Yeah.
Um,
Am
and
I missing one? We
It
did
got
seven,
Bond
didn't we?
totally on. Uh,
You did four and I did three.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did four, you did three.
What's the one I'm missing? I've got Dawn of the Dead, Little Shop of Horrors, Dune, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Casino Royale, and Nightmare at 20,000 feet. Two, three, four, five, six.
Ocean's 11, you haven't got on there.
Ocean's 11. Yeah. Casino Royale, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Dune, Little Shop of Horrors, and Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, I've not seen Ocean's 11. Yeah, I've seen the remake, but I've not seen the original, and I've not seen Casino Royale either. But I do know because like Ocean's 11, while it was good, I don't think it had quite as big an impact as Casino Royale did.
Nah, didn't have the
Because when
gravitas of
by
it.
the time Casino Royale came out, Bond was like in the fucking doldrums hard. It had been they'd run it to death with Brosnan. Much as I love Brosnan, I think he was the best Bond.
Yeah, it needed it.
I
Well,
think Casino Royale,
it needed the Daniel Craig movies. It needed that kind of refreshing
yeah,
take on
yeah,
it.
revived them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even though there was a couple of misfires in there. Yeah, Casino Royale for me.
Yeah, and that's a five. So Murray, I'll clip this bit. Murray, five remakes that have improved upon or are significantly better than the originals. We have Dawn of the Dead, Little Shop of Horrors, the Dune remakes, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Casino Royale. Let us know how we did. And for everybody else out there, if you agree with our calls, you agree with the movies that we've chatted about, you can think of any more remakes that you think we've missed. Obviously, there's some of the big hitters that we omitted intentionally because of how much they're talked about. The Thing, The Blob, The Fly. Let us know, dude. But I think I'm quite happy with our little list that we've got. I
Yeah,
think
we're
they're
getting
all
a
good
solid
shows.
list there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I tried to do my usual smart ass thing and not stray too close to the obvious ones because we can talk about the thing all fucking day. Jesus Christ! But who
yeah,
hasn't talked
fucking
about
hell.
the thing all day?
We could literally see it. We could literally do an episode on The Thing and just talk about the
Oh, I can
movie.
just sit and talk about the thing non-stop. Yeah. And I have done at great length in
Yeah.
the pub in the past, and will no doubt again.
Yeah,
Yeah, same for the blob, same for the fly. I mean, we spoke about the fly before. Oh, we
yeah,
spoke about the fly before, didn't we? At
yeah.
length. How
Oh,
good
I
it is
tell you
and
what,
the
we need
sequel.
to decide as well. This is separate to obviously the remakes. I think this, I might be wrong, but I think this is episode 18. So we're due in a couple of episodes another watch along.
Oh no, the watch through. I don't know.
Watch along. So
Spin
we
the
need to
whaler.
spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel, Raggedy Man.
Yeah, spin that beat, DJ. Um, and I hope the fuck that we get a one of mine because
A couple of good ones on there, haven't we? Yeah.
we've got on how many? I think we needed another one of yours because we took Willow off.
Willow
So at
off,
the
yeah.
moment on there, we've got Transformers 1, The Last Starfighter, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Avatar 2, Dragon Ball Broly, Dark Crystal, Black
Yeah.
Widow, Blair
Ugh.
Witch, and
Yeah.
Flash Gordon. God, if it's fucking Flash Gordon, I might just quit.
Come on, it's fucking worse
Jesus
films than Flash
Christ.
Gordon to watch.
But we'll spin it. We'll spin it on.
Spin that
We need
well.
replacement of you because the Willow that we took off was one of yours, so I need another one of you. But we'll spin it at the end of episode 19, which is next week's, I think. Yeah. Okay, but that's this episode, short and sweet this week. We'll probably record a little bit closer for the next one, so there's not a big gap in between because this is going to take no time at all to edit and get out. Big thanks again and shout out to Murray on Movies. Check him out on TikTok. Give him a follow, guys, if you're not already. Murray, let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think of our choices. If you agree with them, if you think there's any that we've missed that we should have put in there. And we look forward to the next series of challenges. Thanks for listening, guys, and catch us next week for thrillers. I think we've got next week. We're running through now genres. Yeah, it's tough. Thrillers, I think. It's a hard one for me to pick a good handful to talk about. There's a couple that stand out that I know I've got my mind straight away, but until I start searching it, I think I'm going to battle a little bit more to try and get a decent selection.
I'll grow a handful. Grow a few.
All right, but thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week with more. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and all that jazz. Bye.
Bye.